The launch of the brand new James Webb Telescope is a giant step forward as we try to determine if we're not alone in the universe. But it's not just big government organizations like NASA that are scanning the skies. Our next video is from a small team of researchers who have banded together to try and answer that question. And they were shocked by what they found.
Friday, July 16th, 2021. It's a foggy night, and a team of scientists from the research group UAPx is on a week-long expedition near Catalina Island off the coast of California. Then, shortly before 4 a.m., one of their motion detector cameras in night vision mode captures this. In the upper right-hand corner of the frame, a black hole suddenly appears in the sky. But take a closer look. Do you see that? A cluster of small dots begins to materialize inside, and researchers don't think they're mere stars. Physicist Dr. Matthew Shadagis is one of the researchers with the project.
This is very strange because this timestamp of this video does match with one of our most anomalous, highest energy events that we recorded in our radiation sensor.
Because UFO cases have historically involved radiation, the team came prepared with a radiation sensor. In normal circumstances, the average reading is about 1 to 2 mega-electron volts, but at the time of the anomaly, it jumped to 43. According to writer MJ Banias, we shouldn't be surprised that something mysterious appears to be happening over Catalina Island.
Catalina Island is home to a very long history of strange and anomalous phenomena.
In fact, what may be one of the most important UFO sightings in history was documented only miles away in 2004.
So as the story goes, on board the USS Princeton, on their radar, they encountered some sort of anomalous object between Catalina Island and several other islands in the channel. They approached what looked like to be a 40-foot long shaped tic-tac hovering, making erratic maneuvers just above the surface of the water. Then the pilots played chase with this object back and forth for several minutes before being ordered to return back to their aircraft carrier.
But how did it get here? Banias lays out one popular theory.
There's a lot of people who believe that UFOs open up wormholes or portals between their world and travel through dimensions. This idea that we can open a gateway between place X and place Y and move between them. The Catalina Islands would be a sort of entry point for UFOs to use.
When the scientists from UAPx filed a Freedom of Information request to get either satellite imagery or logs from any Navy ships in the area that night, they were told those files either don't exist, or if they do, they're classified. That's only added to the mystery. What exactly did they witness? We take that question to our experts.
We begin with Rich Hoffman of the Coalition for UAP Studies.
So I've spent a lot of time looking at everything from aircraft to clouds to helicopters to birds to kites to you name it. And it doesn't match anything like that.
But Hoffman does offer a possible explanation.
It's within reason that it's a camera artifact. You can have all kinds of interference when you're working with electronics of any kind.
But physicist Michio Kaku acknowledges another possibility exists, at least in theory. We know these aren't known stars. There's no constellation that matches. But might they be stars from another universe? Is it possible this is a wormhole?
Think of a universe here with another parallel universe right next to it. You might be able to create a gateway that connects two universes. But the energy necessary to open a stable gateway between universes is that of a black hole. But there should be side effects, and that would be the force of intense gravitational fields. However, in this videotape, we don't see any examples of that.
However, Kaku notes there is a scientific phenomenon which may explain what we're seeing.
Fall streak is when you have a mass of super cold air in the sky, and there's a sudden influx of ice crystals.
These ice crystals cause the water droplets that compose clouds to freeze and fall,
which creates a hole. In fact, many of the fall streaks were created by airplanes that went right by this mass of super cold air, causing literally a hole in space.
Is this the result of a fall streak hole? Matthew Shadagis confirms it was one possibility among many explored by the UAPx researchers.
We considered a fall streak hole. However, we checked the FAA records of this day and time. There was no airplane at that location.
And the idea that it's a camera glitch? Shadagis says, no way.
We find no evidence of a camera glitch in the entire week of the expedition that looks like this. How likely is it that this was a camera glitch that by coincidence happens to align with one of our most anomalous detections also in our radiation sensor? Is it alien? Is it extraterrestrial? As a scientist, I've got to see the evidence or the proof of something. But the flip side of that is I'm not so skeptical that I refuse to listen to a crazy idea just because there's no evidence for it yet.
Our verdict? Until we get more definitive evidence, we have to go with unexplained phenomenon. While our experts were able to come up with some interesting theories, none can be confirmed. And if the team of scientists at UAPx isn't sure what's going on, it's clear there is more work to be done. When they do figure it out, we'll be the first to bring it to you.